They don't want to see us win, prosper, and they'll do anything in their power to stop that. To them, we're not even considered human beings. It's time we stand together.
Peace and power, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Midnight Advocate, where justice has a voice and the people have a plan. I'm Reverend Lucious Conway, your After Dark legal lifeline, carrying both conviction and compassion into the courts of law and the court of public conscience. Tonight we're lifting the veil on an issue too many of us have lived, but too few have been heard on: policing. Not just bad apples or broken bodies, but the structure, the standard, and the spiritual cost. Because the U.S. Supreme Court just made a critical decision in Barnes versus Felix, a decision that changes how we legally define excessive force. So this isn't just policy. This is precedent. This is policing equity. It's midnight. Let's get into it. Once a family's son was shot during a wellness check. No crime committed. No weapon drawn. Just a young man in mental distress who ended up dead on the floor. The officers, of course, said they feared for their lives in that one moment. For years, courts only looked at that one moment. Not the buildup, not the warnings ignored, not the failure to call trained professionals. But Barnes versus Felix has changed that. The Supreme Court just ruled that courts must consider the totality of the circumstances, not just the flashpoint, but the entire encounter. And for families like the one I just mentioned, that ruling is more than legal. It's light. Because justice should never be reduced to one split second. It must account for every second, especially the ones where equity was ignored. Policing equity is justice work. Let's unpack what this ruling means and what we, the people, must do with it. Barnes versus Felix has changed a lot of things. Before, many courts used that narrow moment of threat test. But now, the court says all circumstances must be considered. How the encounter began, officer decisions, escalation patterns, and alternatives that were ignored. This opens the legal door for real accountability, not just courtroom sympathy for an officer's fear, but scrutiny of their full conduct. Why equity and not just equality? Equality assumes everyone starts at the same place, from the same starting point. But equity demands that policies and policing respond to the lived realities of race, poverty, mental health, and trauma. You can't have public safety without public equity. From law to life, we gotta make equity real. We've got to advocate for use of force policies that match the spirit of Barnes. We've got to demand body cam footage be released in full, not edited clips. We've got to push for community oversight boards that have teeth and not just titles. We want you to grow with purpose. And of course, to that end, we've got a tiny URL coming up on the next slide. We want you to write down, log into your address bar, and go to the site for toolkits, model policies, grassroots resources that will help you build communities with equitable policing from the ground up. Whether you're organizing locally or lobbying state officials, this resource will equip you to apply the new standard in real time. Policing equity isn't just about fewer bad outcomes. It's about root-level transformation. Our spiritual food tonight comes from Psalm chapter 89, verse 14 from our Ethiopian Bible. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of your throne. Love and faithfulness go before you. We are not called to reform systems, to comfort the powerful. We are called to remake systems to reflect God's justice. And that starts with seeing the full picture, not just the police report's version of the ending, but the truth from the beginning. Equity is not a luxury. It's a requirement of justice. There's your tiny URL. Share this episode with someone working for police reform in your city. Hear me, Detroit. And ask yourself, what would justice look like if we started measuring from the roots, not just the reaction? Let's pray it out. The Lord bless you and keep you. May your wisdom outlast the sound bites and outwork the status quo. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May your grace be bold enough to hold power accountable. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace that organizes, peace that petitions, peace that plants equity like seed in soil. Rest well, family. And we rise, one ruling, one resource, one midnight at a time. This is